Acts 9, verse 36 to 43. Dorcas restored to life. In Joppa, there was a disciple named Tabitha, which by interpretation is called Dorcas. The Spirit draws attention not first to an event, but to a life, one marked by abundance of good works and deeds of mercy. Her hands had become a testimony, garments she made clothed the poor, and her presence comforted the widows. Her life stood as visible evidence of the life of Christ working through his people. Then the narrative turns. She fell sick and died. The body that had served so many was laid in an upper chamber. The room filled with sorrow, not abstract grief, but the kind shaped by love and memory. Widows stood weeping, holding the coats and garments Dorcas had made while she was with them. What she had done in life continued to speak even in her death. Yet the story does not end in mourning. Lydda was near Joppa, and the disciples, hearing that Peter was there, sent unto him 2 men, desiring him that he would not delay to come. This urgency reflects a growing awareness among the early believers. The authority of the risen Christ was present and active through his apostles. The same power that had walked in Galilee had not diminished. It was now being manifested through his body. Peter arose and went with them. Entering the upper chamber, he encountered the scene of grief. The widows stood by him weeping, showing the garments Dorcas had made. Their testimony was not theological in form, but it was deeply theological in substance. Her works bore witness to the life of Christ in her. Peter put them all forth. Silence replaced the noise of sorrow. He kneeled down and prayed. Then, turning to the body, he said, "Tabitha, arise." This moment echoes a greater voice, the voice that had once spoken, "Talitha cumi." The authority at work here is not derived from Peter himself, but from the one who had conquered death and now exercised his reign through his appointed witnesses. She opened her eyes. When she saw Peter, she sat up. Life returned where death had been. The restoration of Dorcas is not merely a miracle of compassion. It is a sign. It testifies that the age of fulfillment had arrived, that death itself was being confronted by the risen Christ as his kingdom advanced in power. Peter gave her his hand and lifted her up. Then, calling the saints and widows, he presented her alive. The grief of the upper chamber was transformed into astonishment and joy. What had been a place of mourning became a testimony to life. The event became known throughout all Joppa, and many believed in the Lord. The miracle functioned as a signpost, pointing beyond itself. It was not an isolated act, but part of a larger unfolding reality. The reign of Christ was being made manifest, and the old order, marked by death, separation, and limitation, was giving way to something new. Peter remained in Joppa with one Simon, a tanner. Even this detail carries weight. A tanner, working with dead animals, would have been considered unclean under the former covenantal structure. Yet Peter's lodging there signals a transition already underway. Boundaries that once defined separation were dissolving as the new covenant reality expanded. Thus, the raising of Dorcas stands within a broader movement. It is not simply about one woman restored to life, but about the unveiling of a kingdom in which life triumphs over death, where the presence of Christ is not confined, but actively working through his people, and where the lines of the old world are being redrawn in light of what has been accomplished. In Joppa, in an upper chamber once filled with sorrow, life spoke again. And through that life, the reality of the risen Lord was made known.